We start. Greetings, brothers and sisters around the world. My name is Chrissy Bailey, aka Chrissy B. Some people call me Chrissy B. Some people just call me Chrissy B Motep, but my stage name is Chrissy B. My real name is Chrissy Bailey. I was given the name Chris by my grandmother because I was conceived on Christmas Day, and as many of you know that I don't really celebrate Christmas. It's a practice and a pagan festival that I stopped celebrating many years ago. I used to celebrate Christmas, but I stopped because of reading, research and studying and so on and so forth. But I'm here really to introduce myself to you. A lot of people around the world know me because I've been on the radio for a very long time. I've been on the radio for about the best part of 15 years. I started on the radio in 2002. Originally I was on a radio station which I set up myself at my grandmother's house, which was just merely me broadcasting to people locally. And then what I was doing after that, around 2004, which was a couple of years afterwards, I was actually making documentaries about reggae artists, the vintage artists from like in the 50s and the 60s. And what I was doing, I was selling or giving documentaries away or making documentaries for people who really interested in the music, of course, like connoisseurs and just avid, passionate reggae and Jamaican music followers. And then one day I was listening to a radio station called Sweet FM, which was based in Edmonton, and they were running competitions. And what I was doing, I was texting lots of competition questions for them to give out to the listeners, and this impressed some of the DJs who was on the radio station. So one of the DJs, his name was Masai, he said to me that, would you like to do a show? Because you seem to know a lot about the music. And it was something which was really, I mean, I've got confidence in myself, but to go on the radio to go into an actual radio station now, because like I said before, I was just doing it locally, but to go on a fairly mainstream radio station where people around the world, and it was also an internet station, were going to hear what I was saying and doing and playing. I had to think about it. But anyway, one day, this same master, I had to go to Sweden. It was a reggae festival called the Uppsala, and which takes place every August. Every August, I think it's between the 1st of August and the 4th of August. So one year went away, and he said to me, could I come and fill in for him to take over his show while he's away in Sweden? It was one Sunday, and normally I don't work on Sundays because of my beliefs. Anyway, I said I couldn't give up this opportunity, so I grabbed it with both hands. I went to the studio, and I took my CDs and my records with me, and really I've not looked back since. And that was back in 2006, and ever since then I've just gone on from strength to strength. I've had times when I've been off the radio, and I've been times, but most of the time I've been on the radio doing broadcasts, doing documentaries. I specialise in documentaries. I've done over 100 documentaries related to music, and of course Black history. I did a documentary. One of the last documentaries I did was in 2013 when Mr. Mandela died, and I went on a radio station, which was another radio station called SLR, which is another local radio station, but a massive radio station. And I went on there, and I did a documentary about Mr. Mandela, where he was coming from, and I played sound clips about that as well, which is very exciting. I was also on Climax Radio as well. I was on Climax Radio for about 8 months. This was back in 2007. They were based in Leighton, and that was really the first radio station that really propelled me, because before that I was like, only people local knew me. But when I went on to Climax, I was on Sweet FM for a little while. I think I only done 1 or 2 shows on Sweet, but the station folded, and so I went into Climax. I was there for 8 months. Then I went about a year without doing anything, but I had a friend on another radio station. Funny enough, it was SLR, Brother Douglas Williams from Find Your Voice, and he invited me to come down onto his shows, because because I'm a historian and because I know a lot about the music, a music historian, he wanted somebody to fill the shows, to fill his shows, and he also wanted somebody to interview. So he called me to come and take that place for him. But I mean, it's been brilliant for me, the radio thing. But as you can see on Facebook, I do a lot of writing as well. Uh, I've been inspired to write for many, many years. I've been writing since I was about 10 years of age. And some of the first things I wrote about were just everyday struggles, everyday life. I think one of the first stories I wrote about was it was a small story called From Obscurity to Elite, where I write about this young black man who, like it was a rags to riches story, where he was coming from nothing. Then he developed himself and he became one of the biggest millionaires in the world. But it's a novel I didn't quite finish. I was meant to finish it, but because I was working and doing other things at that time, I was playing out as well on a circuit as a DJ. And sometimes these things take their toll. And I suppose I never quite got to finish it, but I remember when I was working somewhere and I told this young lady about this book I was writing, and she was so excited. She said, "Oh, I can't wait for your book to be finished. I was on a read this," because I was telling her about the book, how the story unfolded about this rags to riches story, and a lot of people can relate to a rags to riches story. And it was just something about. I mean, that was some years ago now, but I still have the capacity to finish because I started it. It's just a finish right now. But I've got other things on the go. I've got so many things that make it spinning. Yeah. But it's just a passion to write. I've written for papers, for The Voice, for the New Nation. I've had letters published in them. But most of the time I work for myself. I write for myself, and I put a blog. There's a website coming soon. We're working on that for the people to log on and to see things more in depth and more in depth analysis, and because you can only do so much on Facebook and social media, and people will take your work, so it's best to blog them. And it's never been a question about money, but if you're going to earn from it, you let people come on and log on and let them see what you've done there, you know. But music it was the first and foremost passion of mine, and after a while I started to get into black history. As you can see the posts on Facebook, that's something I really have to do. You know, I always say to people, go, you know, just believe in you. Don't let anybody deter you from being who you want to be. Just have that inner confidence in yourself, and then, you know, really the sky's the limit. Let the world be your oyster, as I would always say, you know. So that's just a little bit about me. Hopefully a little bit later on, because I'm here for a while, I'll give you some more bits and pieces about the music, and hopefully later on I can give you some more bits and pieces about black history. But this is just a small intro about Chrissy B, the guy you see on Facebook, or you see on Instagram, you see on Twitter, the guy with the beaming smile. It's nice for you to actually you can put a voice to the face and so on. So thanks for having me. I'll see you around very, very soon. Bless up.